Mhm.
Hello?
Hello. Now we're back.
Okay. So I'm kind of thinking how we could like distribute the work, like people having different priority. What's uh gonna see. We could also create a Kanban board on GitHub.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. In AsyncAPI, we are using SunHub for like a wrapper for GitHub. Since it's kind of difficult, I think it would be a great idea to try the projects page
mhm,
and keeping it all inside one.
mhm. So
Keeping it everything on GitHub. That would probably be best, yeah. Exactly, as you said.
I think that first so like the first objective of this project is to create the command line interface, or we should use the other repo.
I would
This
agree that we can create the CLI, because
it's
then we
gonna
can use the library as soon as possible.
yeah, okay.
Um,
So I think the second biggest challenge is to create more an attractive way to present the results, because there are lots of factors to take into consideration. Like you should receive input from a remote Docker container that could be running in a cloud service. Yeah. So you would have to keep track of TCP socket connections and updating the React components based on these connections. Yeah, I've already started working on it and thinking it.
yeah, that sounds.
I'm also gonna probably provide some useful links of similar projects I have found on the issues of the GitHub repository. Yeah.
Mhm. just always keep in mind that I would say smaller the better.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Because
It's just I already have some experience with React and Redux and all these. So it won't be taking that much time, I think. It won't be taking up that much time.
Yeah, because for where it's gonna be important to get like community responses is, for example, for the specification, like how can you specify what a scenario is? How do you want to specify how a scenario should function without making it too complex?
Yeah, yeah, this is more important, of course. Yeah, we should first
Not more
frame them
important,
out.
but it's where you are going to want
Yeah, I mean, if you're not, if your project is not functional, it's not going to gain that much traction. I understand.
yeah, exactly. And it's a balancing game, right? Because you cannot wait too long for responses before moving on. So it's that's gonna be a tough one, without a doubt. Maybe we should try and create some epics for the different
Somewhat.
some epics. In GitHub, you can create these kind of issues which are which contain other issues, basically. So you're using this epic to, like, this could be CLI, for example, designing the CLI. Then under this epic, you can create smaller issues that's more specific to things that you want to solve for the CLI, for example. And this way you can also track these issues inside the project's Kanban board, or how we want to frame it.
So you can create issues and issues.
Yes, basically. They will have their own issue, but it's more marked as a super issue or epic. At least I think you can, and it's not a SynHub thing. I hope. Let's see. Should have milestones. Oh, it's not even a GitHub thing, it's a SynHub.
Oh.
That's gonna be. Do we want to publish? Do we want to create a Kanban board for us, just for?
Yeah, we could. But if you create a Kanban board, like, can I add things to it, or you're only allowed to? Can you hear me? Oh. No, I'm just wondering, will this get uploaded? Because if it does, Would be pretty terrible. Does it get uploaded on YouTube?
Oh,
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
hello.
Hello?
Now it's back. Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, the Kanban board.
So like if you create it, can I add things to it, or I need permission?
That's a good question. Let's try it. Can you do anything in there now?
Wait.
Just created something called a project board.
I don't think I can.
You can see it?
But
You cannot see it?
I can, but I cannot add things.
Ah, okay. Let's see.
I think you can create like a group in the repo, and you can give this group different permissions. You can add people to the group.
Yeah, let's see if I can.
Like there can be one administrator group, or there can be a,
Let's see.
like I think we should change the name too, because
Yep.
there is already a repo that's called Fluffy Rob. So
Yeah, I mean
there are actually multiple ones.
Yeah, I'm not surprised actually. Yeah, I agree that Fluffy Robot is a bit. Yeah. Create. I guess I cannot do that.
So like, does Postman like pay you for developing just in for a sync API, or for other things too?
So it is for async API alone, yeah.
Okay.
And then the
That's
way
cool.
that we run the project makes it so that like we have these 6 week cycles. And after the 6 weeks, we get 2 weeks to work on any open source project or library that we want to work on. So
is this like a kind of internship or something? Or this is
did you say internship?
internship? Like, I don't even know what internship means, but I think it's like I don't know, you pay someone based on results, or is it on a fixed
It's
salary?
on a fixed salary.
Oh, that's cool. Well, if I'm good, maybe Postman will take notice of me. You
Yeah.
never know.
You never know, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's basically how I started. I started with contributing to the generator and the parser in 2019, I think it was. And then Ryan and Lucas got this deal with Postman for where Postman was basically sponsoring the development of AsyncAPI. And then I got the offer for joining them as well. And that only happened because I contributed, basically. Which is, yeah, a whole story in itself. But, yeah. So you never know, exactly. I don't think I even have permission to change this project settings, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I am gonna see if I can get Lucas to help out with that. I'm just gonna write it down, but we need to fix the permissions for the project.
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right.
So,
Do we want to have these? I mean, we can just talk about how we want to structure the Kanban board. Do you think it's fine as it is, where we just have 3 columns? Or should it be more?
let me think about it. We could like have to do. We could have like in progress could be, no, it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. It would be just nice if like on the in progress column, we would always add the fork, like or the specific branch of the fork that we're currently doing the progress. I don't know. No,
Do me in terms of
you
the 3
cannot do
columns.
that. No, you cannot do that in Kanban.
Yeah, I agree. I
No,
don't think it.
no, 3 columns are fine. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good start, right? We can always
Or we could,
reevaluating.
yeah. Or we could add one more that's like something that's reviewed, pull request or something. Pull request that needs to be reviewed. That's right after in progress, probably.
I think we could maybe add those pull
Not to
requests.
be reviewed, but probably commented by people, you know.
Okay, so what can we call
yeah,
such a
why is
button?
it's not needed? I don't think it's needed. Never mind.
So you just want to keep them in progress, basically.
Yeah, in those 3 columns. Yeah. I don't care, whatever you want. I don't have an issue.
You can always change them.
Yeah.
for, yeah, naming of the library. Let's see. Do you think we have to choose a name rather sooner than later? Or is it okay if we just keep that issue going, basically?
I don't think it really matters. It just has to be an original name. Because I think that the description like matters most to the GitHub search engine. Does it?
Yeah,
Or does the name also? I'm not certain.
I
I
think
think
it's
that the
both.
description, yeah, the description matters most.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, users, for example, they're gonna look at the description more.
Yeah.
And recognize what it is. Unless your name basically tells it as well. But I don't know. I don't mind that we just keep the fluffy robot until we have some more suggestion for naming.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's okay.
no, we can see that. Let's see. So for the
See?
simulation library pull request, that contains what exactly?
Yeah, I guess it's not like functional, completely functional yet. Like, don't bother yet. I'm gonna add stuff to it.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that it's like, as soon as you can interact with the CLI, I think it's a good, like, just keep it in that, and then we keep iterating.
Okay, yeah.
But then it's also, it's easier to review when there's only 400 changes than if there's over 1,000.
Mhm.
That's gonna make the task easier as well.
Yeah.
How do you think we wanna? How do we wanna go from? Are you designing any part of the system, or are you just taking it from basically the top of your head?
Mhm.
For example,
You mean?
for the CLI, are you creating any design documents, or is it just implementation?
Right now it's just implementation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will add stuff.
Yeah, no worries. Do you want to create some issues now? Do you think we can do that? I mean, we have
Let's see.
now. We could create some overall issues if you want. For example,
Yeah. I guess I could update the React statistics library issue. I could. What else could we add?
what specific, so you have, for example, progress bar. Yeah, I think a progress bar is a great start. Do we actually want to
But
show anything else?
mm,
For now. Maybe we want to show some basic text.
let me edit. What you mean as a component?
Yeah, so for the component, it could be a basic summary component.
That's something that I have not added yet, and I should, is like a layout component, so you can put your different subcomponents in it, and they would have structure. Like we could have multiple cards, like yeah, like one card has one progress bar, or one, like one card is for one scenario, and one is for another, and like I will create that. I know that it's kind of doesn't make sense the way I'm saying it. I will create it.
Yeah, the React library is only for the core component, right? So it's for where you can build your
Yeah.
own as well. Yeah, do a summary.
Uh,
So what's different
uh,
parts of the React
I
library?
don't know. I'm thinking about that thing that you could create your own. We could just provide. I think it would be easier. Um, we could just provide a solution for visualizing the results. That's it. Because I don't think that many people would, at least right now at the start, would invest time in making their own implementations, like making their own visualizations using this project.
Yeah, I agree.
We could add it later on, but I think right now that just making a front end application that looks good is more important.
Yes.
We could add the modularity parts later.
Yeah, I agree. But it's also
So I guess that the React statistic library. No. It will be a library. It will be packaged and will be added as a package in the repository, the repo.
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna publish it sooner or later when it has more features. I'm gonna add it in the GitHub registry here, so you can see it in the bottom right corner where it says packages.
How do you want users to interact with the React library?
Hmm?
How do you want users to not react but to interact with the library? Should they spin up are we talking about creating basically a web server?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna create a front end application. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more difficult to, like, how could we do it? No, we the simulation application slash library uh, will just stream uh, data to the front end application, but I'm not certain, at least right now, how we can make it modular so that the user can configure his own front end application. That gotta be really hard.
Yeah.
So for start, I'm just gonna try to create my own front end. And that's not gonna be even a top priority right now. I think getting it working, the basic command line interface is more important.
Mm. Yeah, I agree with you. Because we can always add as soon as the core functionality is and it's easier to add as well, I would imagine.
Something that have not done. Wait. Wait, Postman has a thing where you like automate tests of your API, but it's not you can deploy it as a container or you know.
Mm.
The thing that this library, the thing that sets apart this library from other things, similar things, and of course the Postman application will essentially be its modularity and extendability. I just don't know whether we should focus right now from the start on those things or we should add them later on. But the core things that will set this library apart from, like, why should a user use this library and not use Postman, for example? The reason should be the way he can extend and use this library to his liking. I know that this is my end objective here. It just, I don't know whether I should do that now, start working on the end objective from now, or I should, we're gonna see.
Yeah, so it's a good point. So it's basically a question of whether you should focus on extendability
Yeah.
now from the start, or if you can introduce it later. From
But I
my
think,
point of
yeah, continue.
from my point of view, I think it's gonna it depends on how aware you are on this specific use case later on when you're doing your implementation, because um, it can result in some major refactoring when there's not a focus on it from the start.
Yeah, I understand.
Because we need to support basically whatever protocols there are, and not just one specific one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I would assume that we can focus on modularity while still not like making it too difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
So the implementation would be somewhat the same.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Ace, good morning. Or
Hi, good morning.
good morning. How are
Hello,
you?
good morning.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing cool. Sorry for joining late.
No, no worries. No worries. But yeah, we're just talking about how much focus we should have on modularity from the beginning of the repository or the library.
Or whether we should focus on creating a, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
Whether we should focus on creating like modular parts of the application that the user can extend on, or we should first start by creating like a front-end application that has a beautiful UI. Yeah, these are the two things that like we have to consider. But if we start creating like a beautiful front-end application, we're essentially allocating resources, creating this application. We're not getting our attention at creating modular design of the library. So we're gonna see how we're gonna balance this out. Because if we do create the front end application, like having a beautiful UI, etc., it has to be done in a modular way, like with parts and components and interfaces that the user that any user can use to make his own kind of front end, to make his own front end, make it appear as he wants. We don't want to just create a front end application that we say to the user, this is what we're offering, this is what we got, you can do nothing about it, and just use it. The end user doesn't want that, because he could use Postman for that, for automated testing. He doesn't need that. So
yeah, I mean, automated testing is one thing, right? But keep simulating is another thing that I don't think Postman is entirely doing. Also,
Postman does not support like AsyncAPI specification file or something. Does it? I don't think it does.
No.
Yeah.
It does not. Yeah, and it also depends on your prioritization, because if you think it's like this is something you want to work on, then sure, why not, right? But at some point we have to realize that like there needs to be some deeper implementation there before we can add these kind of front end, or before it makes sense to have these kind of front end libraries. Because if you don't have the core tech there, that's actually doing the simulation, then what are you visualizing, right?
Yeah. So yeah, the React library that we can create doesn't have to do with any of this, because it's modular, it's just components, just visual components. We won't like have any logic attached to it. It's just fancy HTML with CSS. So we can progress safely on this front without worrying too much about wasting time, because we know that the React library is going to be used no matter what.
Yeah, you're right.
So another thing that I think I will do is create some kind of interface on the back end. Create some on the simulation library that the user can easily create a TCP connection, a TCP socket. So yeah, but then we would also have to make another library for utilizing it on the front end. so that he can connect to the TCP socket, get data from the simulation, and he can visualize it as he wants.
Mm.
Well,
What if?
Hmm?
Oh, go ahead, just.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do everything in this repository. So we're just gonna publish 2 packages. I think that's more convenient.
Yeah. Just a suggestion, maybe. What if we don't use TCP? Or not if we don't use TCP, what if we don't decide on which protocol the interaction with the library is?
I don't know. I was thinking of using like socket.io or what was its alternative called? I don't remember.
You could
But
do
the
it with
thing,
WebSockets as well. Or
but the thing
what
with
if the user decides on the protocol? Can you do
yeah,
that? Is that possible?
that could happen. Yeah.
For example, what if I used Kafka, for example, and had a
What?
Kafka service? Kafka? Have you heard of Kafka before?
Cat?
Kafka
No.
or MQTT?
Nope.
So
Was this a protocol?
yeah.
It's broker, right?
What a sorry, what did you say?
Like a message broker, right?
Yeah, message broker. So it kind of depends on how far you want to stretch your use case. Because if you want to have users, if you just say that these are the different channels that you want to publish these different kind of messages on, for example, that we're now starting a new scenario, or we are running this scenario, or how well the scenario is progressing. Whether we want to give this information to the user, or if we just want to keep it internally, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be a constant question. Like it's never gonna be solved. So
No.
Because I don't know, that's a very good question. I think that we should start off by giving less options to the user, but do it in a fashion that we can refactor it and add things to it later on. I know that's a very broad statement. Like, I don't know how we're going to do that, but, just thinking.
Yeah, so keeping in mind that extendability is one of the major requirements for this later on, even though that we use a specific, if we take a specific route now.
But now, I think that Ace Build and we're gonna both let's say focus. I'm gonna focus on everything, but Ace Build and we're gonna focus first on creating the React library, because I've seen Ace Build is pretty good with front end things like React and all of this. So we're gonna we're gonna add things on the Kanban board. We've created one so that we can create new tasks.
Yeah,
we
so
can track
Ace,
their progress.
Yeah, so Ace, that's actually more like a general question. Like, yeah, I think for you is more how involved do you want to be in the development? How much should Nectario take you for?
How much should I count on you? Or you could
what do you want to
no,
help
that's
out?
kind of a aggressive way to say it. Not count on you, but wait for your contributions.
Okay. Actually, actually going all in. So that is just able to, can you hear me?
Kinda, but it's fading out a little bit.
The microphone is kind of fading out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, better,
Perfect.
better.
Cool. So in terms of contribution, I'm actually going to help a lot because I'm like into Async API really, because I really love what Async API is doing generally. And
Great.
I actually came across it as a GSOC stuff. So I think I actually fell in love with Async API, not as a GSOC contribution. So I'm like, I just want to do everything I can to help Async API, grow. So count on me when it comes to the contribution. I'm really going to help you. Nectarius, you can count on me. All hands on deck.
Great, great, great.
Awesome. Man.
Awesome.
Um,
Right. So what else? So Ace build, in case you didn't see it, we've created a Kanban board in the repository, in the repo. So we're just waiting for permission for me to add things to it so that we can begin, because I'm not allowed to add things right now to it. Like the admin has to give permissions to me.
yes.
Okay, cool. I just saw it now.
Oh yeah. Are you able to add the? I can add the comments because. I've just added the different issues that are currently active to the project in the project's Kanban board. Can you guys see the issues?
Yes.
Can you move them around as well?
I can't. I can move them.
Nope.
You can move them?
I can't. I
Oh, you
can't move
can.
them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So we have some permissions that has to be changed.
And like you do,
Yeah, I don't think I have permission to change those permissions. So I gotta figure that out one out.
I don't think that it should be like public to be able to move these.
Agreed.
Like someone should be in charge of it. But isn't there is an option like to make a request to create it to do or something? There is not.
I
It
don't
doesn't
think
seem to
there
be.
is. But yeah,
No, these are created from the issues. Okay, I didn't get that. Yeah, the to do
yeah, exactly.
are created from the issues.
Yes.
Like it's any issue, or it needs to be an enhancement issue. No, it's automatically added. Yeah, to do list.
Yeah, I think if you create another issue now, it will automatically pop up on the to-do list.
Cool.
And as soon as it's closed, it will be moved to the done section. So I actually don't know how much should be changed in there, but I'm gonna still give. I think we move with something called code owners for each repository, where you basically get the settings necessary for operating this specific library. So I'm gonna talk with Lucas about this.
Mhm.
how to set that up for you. So you have more control of this library. And I'm gonna include you as well, if you're gonna be actively contributing to it as well. I think.
Okay. Great.
So Nectarius, did you want to create the different kind of issues for the different parts of the system or library? For example, for the CLI, then you have one for React
Yes,
now.
I'm going to create them. Just I need to think them through a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Because then we can start specifying more.
Oh, Nectarus.
Nectarius, it was for you.
What do you say? I hear.
Can you hear me?
Just go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Nectarus, like how many packages? Like, okay, under the fluffy robot, but can you hear me sound and clear? You can hear me, right, Jonas?
There's can you repeat? There's so I have some issues with the connection. Can you
Okay.
repeat?
But can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just
Okay.
Yeah. Now I can hear you.
You were saying, Jonas was saying something about CLI, right?
Yeah.
Would that be developed like differently or inside same repository as fluffy robot?
And the same. I think for the CLI, they've actually created another repo.
Okay.
Where was that? How was that called? Jonas?
this was just CLI, which is a general CLI for async API to do basically everything.
But I don't know if we should push there or we should we should push in this repository.
So we're gonna create a local CLI for now, I think. And then we can always integrate it into a bigger CLI later. If that's the use case later on.
Mhm.
Cool.
Okay, so any other ideas? Jonas, can you hear me? Oh, he's gone.
Maybe Nectarus, like Jonas is gone.
Yeah, Jonas doesn't seem to be responding.
Maybe technical glitch.
Probably his internet connection.
Yeah.
He's gone. Okay, so you got any other ideas? I mean, if you got any, we can always open a new issue. It's not, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
For now, I don't actually have any idea, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe work towards it. I guess more ideas get to pump out.
Yeah.
So
I think Jonas, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing. I think Jonas just got a bit bored and just left.
He just sent a message on Slack.
Yeah,
Said
he's disconnected.
he's trying to connect back now.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you, Jonas.
Sorry about that. So my internet is super unstable today, apparently. So where did you left off?
Okay, so I don't think we have any more ideas to go on here. But summing up, I think
Mhm.
yeah, as we said, modularity is always a priority, but in a way that it makes sense. It's not too much. And yeah, that.
Yeah, so we don't dig ourselves down a rabbit hole, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that sums it up. We're going to discuss the rest of the stuff and the issues. Okay.
And then I need to get some permissions for you guys
Mhm.
for the repository.
So I guess that's it for now.
I think so, Joe. I think we can always talk on Slack if we want another meeting in
Yeah.
whenever it makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So bye.
but yeah, see you guys. Thank you.
Bye. See ya.